Hey everyone, this is Nick with Us versus Herd. If it's your first time here, you like the content, hit subscribe. If you want to join the UvH fam, our community, links are below in the description to our Discord and our free options trading group on Facebook. If you also want to join our live trading channel, we moved our live trading or live streams to a new channel. Link is below in the description. I did a pre-market show today, and I did go over an aftermarket close, all my trades here on the day. I'm not going to go through them here. I'm trying to get back on schedule. I know, thanks for sticking with me. I've been kind of all over when posting my videos. I'm really trying to stick to a certain schedule, but I've been really busy the last week or so. So my videos haven't been coming out at the exact same time every day. So I definitely apologize, and I thank you guys for watching these videos. So if you guys want to see the recap on my trades for the day, link is below in the description. But let's get to it. We're going to be talking about what we're watching tomorrow, what we're going to be looking at. And for me, there's a few trades that I'm currently in. So I'm currently in Boeing, and I like this. I have next week expiration, and Boeing, we're going to be at, I've been playing this 330 bounce pretty much for the last couple of weeks. Been pretty successful at it. Right now I'm playing some defense because I entered into, instead of at 330, I entered in at 332, which now we're back at 332. But you know, it's been a struggle. I'm looking for like the 334, 335 area to get out of that trade. I mean, I hope that we can go up to 337, but you know, you want to set realistic expectations for when putting a trade on. And right now, realistically, you know, between now and tomorrow, and then Tuesday, keep in mind markets close Monday for Martin Luther King Day. So I'm looking for this 335 area that's been struggling to get out of on Boeing. So I think it's a pretty good dip buy still. You know, but if there's a little bit of pullback back down to 330, probably try to reload some more contracts and see if we can average down a little bit and push back up. Because right now I'm currently down. Yeah, I'm down 216 on that position. I have two of the 330, 250 calls for next week. So that's what I'm looking at. Another stock that I'm looking at, we have to be careful though. Pins, I'm looking for a potential gap fill. We did talk about it today on the live stream, and it has been filling this gap here. And if there's a little pullback back down to 22, I think I'd like to get in. The only thing that we have to be careful about on this stock is next week we have a pretty social media heavy week in terms of earnings. We have Snap and we have Twitter. So, you know, if you're not thinking about it, it does impact the price of Pinterest, Snap, and Twitter, because Pinterest, they reported the other day they have actually more users than Snap, and that sent the stock flying. But Snap has earnings on Tuesday, so just keep that in mind, that there's going to be some, just because you're not trading that stock for earnings, it does have an impact on other stocks in the market. So if Snap has earnings, it's going to have an impact on Twitter and on Pinterest. So just keep that in mind, just kind of like the other tech stocks. You know, also keep in mind that, you know, when you're planning your trades for next week or trades that are going to be rolling into next week, you want to make sure if you're trading FedEx, you have to account for UPS earnings on Tuesday. And if you're, you know, so just keep that in mind, that just because you're out of the stock doesn't mean that the earnings aren't going to impact you. If you're trading FedEx, UPS might impact you. If you're trading pins, you know, Snap and Twitter might impact you. So just keep that in mind and just manage your risk, because it gets a little dicey through earnings. And you know, you want to manage your risk appropriately. You don't want to get blindsided, like, oh, I didn't realize UPS had earnings and they tanked, and I am in FedEx and that had a residual effect. You know, it's kind of like this week, the banks had earnings, and you know, just because you weren't in on Bank of America on Tuesday, it did have an impact because JP Morgan had earnings. So, you know, just be aware of that. Another stock that I'm looking at right now, CGC. We've been talking about the last few days. Right now, it did come down a little bit. It held up pretty nice here at 24 today. So I'm seeing what happens with tomorrow. Is it going to continue down, or is it going to be kind of trying to push back up? If it tries to push back up above this area, I like 26. I think I want to be long to like 28. So I'm actually going to set alert here quick. Set an alert at or above 26, so that way we get some of that work done for us. Also, another alert that didn't get triggered yet was Square. I have an alert set for 71.50, trying to break out of this range. It got rejected here. It hasn't been able to close above this candle here from August 2nd. It hasn't been able to close. It got rejected again. So we'll see what happens with it. I'm trying to trade this gap fill, but it's not letting me yet. It's not letting me yet. So the question is it going to be rejected here? We're going to come back down lower. You know, if we come back lower, I think I would like to enter in around like 64, 65 area, play the 70 range again. You know, I typically like to trade in a 5-point range. It's just what I like to do. So, you know, kind of like on Boeing. I've been trading a 5-point range, 330 getting out 335, 330 getting out 335. You know, when you're trading, you look for kind of repeatable setups, repeatable processes, so that way you can make good decisions. SHAK, I'm currently in Shake Shack. This one actually, I'm currently in. I have a debit spread on right now it's up 22%. I have the 70 call. I bought the 70 call. And I sold the 75 call for February 7th. Right now, that's working in my favor. But any dips look to reload on Shake Shack. You know, we had a monster dip at opened up at 71, came down to 66, 67 area, and then slowly climbed its way back up to 70. Closed above 70. What I like about this is it finally closed above over here. So we're able to trade the gap fill now. So full on gap fill, probably going to, you know, I don't know when, but it's probably going to at least 80 or 75 here. So my target right now is 75 short term. I'll get out of this trade. I'll probably close it out like 74. I've been known to close it out early, you know, always leaving profits on the table, but I take my profits. Netflix is another one, so be aware Netflix might be a good day trade tomorrow, but it's going to be a little bit tricky because there's earnings on Tuesday, and you know you're going to be forced to trade day of expiration or pay a lot of extra money for next week expiration. I probably would recommend trading next week expiration versus day of expiration because I got in a little trouble. I made some money on Netflix yesterday, but today I got in a little trouble because I didn't get out and it remained flat the rest of the day. I lost like $65. Which is not a big deal, but you know, I was trading tomorrow day of expiration tomorrow, so I didn't have a lot of room for error there. So, you know, if you're trading day of expiration, just be aware of another flat day for Netflix. Even though these charts do look pretty bullish for it to go back up, what I do like about this chart here is it's still showing higher lows here on the 1 year. So I probably could have swing traded it and been okay, but the risk was too high. I'd rather just lose the $65 and reload it another time. So that's what I did. But other than that, you know, that's all that I have going into tomorrow, because Monday the market is closed. I'm going to be looking to reduce my risk, try to get it out of Boeing. Roku. Sorry, Roku. Totally forgot about Roku. Roku, I reloaded on the dip here. I am still watching this area right in here, the 129 area. I bought the 129 call. I'm up about 9% on it currently. Looking for it to push back up to the 135, 134 area right now in Roku. It closed at 130. It dipped down to 128.50, came back up today, and it typically gravitates to this 135. So when it's like 140, it comes back down to 135. When it's below like 130, 129, comes back to 135. So I'm shooting for the 134, 135 area to take my profits. I have next week expiration on that, so I currently have the 129 call right here for January 24th. So going to be playing Roku. I'm going to be trying to exit that position tomorrow because I don't really want to hold it through earnings for Netflix, because like I said, Netflix has earnings on Tuesday, and it's going to show there's going to be some residuals there in terms of how it impacts the stock. So that's it. I promise. Let me know if you guys watch this video to the end. Comment below, watch to the end, drop me your watch list, like the video, appreciate it. As always, stay safe, stay green. It's us versus herd.